Hi, my name is Carrie Bailey, and I am an integrative nutrition health coach. I also have several degrees. I have an associate's degree in international studies with a focus in Arabic cultures. I have a bachelor's of science in computer science, as well as a MBA. So I like education. I like to learn, and right now my passion, and it has been for a long time, is really health and coaching people who have struggled with their health for their whole lives. And as a whole person, as a holistic person, that's what holistic means, a whole person. There's a lot of different aspects to being a healthy person. But what I want to talk to you about today is really nutrition. How can we become a healthier person and a happier person? Someone that suffers from less pain, from less debilitating chronic diseases. How can we give our bodies the nutrients that it needs in order to heal itself? So the very first part of this series that I'll be doing is really going to be talking about GMOs and glyphosate. So here's the story of how GMOs, or genetically modified organisms, came to pass. So, we have this massive amount of land in the United States, and most of it's farmland. And the big corporations, they wanted to feed the world. And in order to do that, they had to cut costs on labor. But in order to create more farming land that's productive, meaning we can harvest more food, we had to come up with a way to grow more food in a way that didn't require manual labor to go out and pick the weeds. So what happened was this company said, well, we've got this fantastic weed killer. Problem is that it's going to kill your crops too. It's going to kill any organic organism. And when I say organic, I don't mean, you're going to go out and buy an organic piece of fruit or a vegetable. I'm talking about of this earth, organic, meaning the trees that grow up out of the ground. We as human beings are organic organisms. When I say non-organic, I mean synthetic, anything that man made. When we evolved as human beings, our bodies came up with ways to expel toxins and to create and heal itself from outside influences that were organic in nature. It wasn't until just recently, over the last couple hundred years, that we started introducing things that we made to try and synthesize what occurs naturally on Earth. And our bodies haven't evolved to figure out what to do with those. And so it considers itself a toxin, and it attacks it and it tries to get it out. And when our body's attacking something, it manifests as inflammation. It manifests as chronic diseases, as symptoms for things that we've come up with through the medical field to be to group them together, and we've become sicker as a nation, as an individual, and as a nation. So my goal here is to educate you enough to see, so that you can see how you don't have to be one of those people. So glyphosates and GMOs. The big corporation, Monsanto, they said, we've got this fantastic weed killer. The active ingredient is called glyphosate. We're marketing it as Roundup. We've come up with a seed. We've genetically modified a seed that you can plant so that you can spray this glyphosate on these huge farms of yours, and you can produce more food. We can feed the world. Well, the unintended consequence of this is that the glyphosate kills any living organism, including us, the human being. So what happens is they spliced the seed and they genetically modified it with different types of organisms, so it doesn't look like an organic organism, hence the word genetically modified organism. And then the farmers, they buy not only the seed from this huge corporation, but then they also buy the weed killer, and they spray it on all of their crops. Well, fantastic. Okay, we're now feeding the world. Well, the unintended consequence, which I just mentioned, is that when we consume that product, it then goes into our intestinal tract and kills all of our good bacteria that helps repel the toxins that we're consuming. So it's actually making us sick. The food that we're eating is making us sick. It's actually killing part of our body off very, very slowly. So the reason why this is so important, our guts are what we call the microbiome. That is our second brain. It's where 80% of our immune function occurs. It is where our serotonin, all of the hormones that we create in our body, they're created in our microbiome. Or 90% of them. The 80% of the serotonin that we create, which is what people are saying, or doctors have said, that is responsible for the good mood feeling, or helps to combat depression, that's created in our guts. Well, what a lot of people don't know is that serotonin, it is then converted through a series of chemical reactions within our own bodies, and it's designed to do so, is then converted into melatonin. Melatonin is responsible for helping to regulate our circadian rhythm, or our sleeping patterns. And once it's been converted into melatonin, then it also gets converted into testosterone. And testosterone, whether you're a man or a woman, we need that. It's responsible for our sexual function, our fertility. Men and women both need it, but just in varying degrees. When our microbiome is compromised by the glyphosates, we don't have the ability to create enough of these hormones, these three very key compounds that help us live life. So without that, we start to develop a lot of these very debilitating diseases. They've linked them to a myriad of diseases that I don't want to go into right now, because I could go on for hours talking to you about this. But ultimately, glyphosate is killing us by killing our microbiomes and keeping our bodies from functioning optimally. And then also when they're not functioning optimally, and the big thing here is leaky gut. Leaky gut sounds horrible, it sounds disgusting, and it is. It's where the microbiome and also the lining of our intestine has been so compromised that we start to develop microscopic holes in the lining, and pieces or particles of food then escape into our bloodstream and into other parts of our body, which then our body goes, this is a foreign object, this does not belong here, and it attacks it, increasing the level of inflammation, which can be manifested as arthritis or Crohn's disease, or some people are even thinking that are trying to prove right now that plaque in the arteries is actually just inflammation, is our body's way of trying to protect itself from being inflamed. So right now scientists are really, really getting into the fact that the microbiome, our second gut, is really, really important to our health. So the question is what do we do? We can't get away from the food that is being produced by the United States. If you go into a grocery store and if you don't walk around the outside of the grocery store, you go right in the middle aisles, which is where most people are directed because of the way they market things. Everything in there is processed. Everything in there has chemicals that are man-made, and almost, I think they said like 90% of everything in those middle aisles are going to have glyphosate in them. And it's where 95% of the American people shop. If you were to stick to the outer rims of the supermarket and you were to buy fruits and vegetables and meats and things that are all, fresh, you tend to stay away from the more processed things, but you can't even get away from it there, because we feed our cows and we feed our fish, anything that's farmed, we feed them feed that has been raised with glyphosate. So they have glyphosate in it. The meat that we're eating, the fruits and vegetables that they're eating, it can't be washed out. It has glyphosate in it. So we can't get away from it 100%. So then what do? Therein lies why I want to talk to you today. We can fix this. We can help ourselves. We can heal ourselves. And it's actually through a product called Biome. It's brand new. In fact, it just came out in August. And it's just a little bottle. It's revolutionary. It's patented. It's the only product on the market today that is truly the anti-GMO. It works 3 ways. So 3 ways. One, it has and it's all organic and non-GMO itself. It goes in and it attaches itself. It chelates, pulls out the glyphosate and toxins from the intestines and the microbiome. Okay, and it comes out of your system naturally. You have to go to the toilet. Second, it actually repopulates. It's a spore. All of the good bacteria that we need in our bodies to protect what they're called villi. They're the little fingers on the outside of the intestines. They protect the villi. The little fingers on the intestines, they actually absorb the nutrients. They're what's responsible for absorbing the nutrients and expelling the toxins. Without the good bacteria mucosa, or that's what they call it, the mucosa, but it's really just like a protective barrier of this good bacteria, the villi die, especially when exposed to the glyphosate. So what happens is you take the Biome, it gets rid of the glyphosate, so that way the villi stop dying, and it stops killing off the mucosa and the good bacteria. The spore that's has the good bacteria in it. Spores, I don't know if you know, it's like when a dandelion grows and it's yellow, and then it continues to go through its life cycle, and it turns into these big puff balls, and the wind blows away all of the seeds to grow more weeds. That's exactly what a spore does. So it gets, and as it grows, it then explodes everything into your guts. So you're getting all of that really good bacteria into all the nooks and crannies in your colon and intestines. And then once those are protected, it has a nutrient in there as well, the Biome, that helps to regrow the villi. And we didn't know that we could regrow the villi, but there is a nutrient in this product that has been proven to do so. The product itself has gone through double-blind clinical studies, and it's been proven to have a 70% decrease in your inflammation. There's a technical name for it, and I won't bore you with it now, but the inflammation, the marker for inflammation, it actually has reduced it over a 6-week period of time by 70%, and then it also decreases the level of glyphosates in the body by 74%. So it's fantastic in terms of the 6-week double-blind clinical study. More studies are going to be done, but ultimately this is the only product on the market that does this, and it's available to you. This is good for adults who've been going through, anybody who eats in the United States, you really should be taking this product. But it comes in a little tiny capsule. You can give this to your kids. You can give this to your animals. Anybody who consumes anything made in the United States should probably be taking this product. If you don't like to take pills, you can actually just take the capsule out, pop it in your mouth. It actually tastes like pizza. It does not taste bad at all. I have a situation occurring right now that I'm not able to absorb nutrients the normal way, so I can't take pills. So every morning and every night I take one of these, and I just pop it in my mouth, and I call it good, and I'm benefiting from it. So ultimately, the way you can take this is, first you want to try and get rid of all the glyphosate in your body, and then go on to a maintenance dose. So when you first start, I recommend working your way up to 4 pills a day, okay? 4 pills a day for 30 days. Very, very important, because you need to get the glyphosate out of your body. The more you take, up to 4 pills a day, the faster you're going to get results. So because you're literally extracting these toxins out of your body, you're going to see that you need to go to the bathroom a little bit more. So start slow to begin with, to see how your body is going to react. Take 1 pill at night before you go to bed, just to start. See how you do with it. All right, and then over a course of a day, 2 days, as you see how you're going to react, and you can up it to once in the morning, once at night, until you're up to 4 pills a day, twice in the morning and two in the morning and 2 at night. And then do that for 30 days. Okay, and then after that, you can go on to a maintenance dose, which is, you know, two a day for people who eat a lot of glyphosate. So people who eat huge amounts of corn as a part of your culture, you might consider taking 2 a day. People who eat a little bit differently, maybe not so many processed foods, tend to go more organic. They know that there's glyphosates, and they're not using glyphosates as the pesticide. If you know for a fact you're growing your own food, you can probably manage to go with 1 a day. That's a maintenance type of phase. So ultimately, what I want to impart to you and invite you to do is give your body the opportunity to get healthy again, to heal itself by healing your gut and giving it the opportunity to make you feel good again. Increase your quality of sleep and your elevated mood, and just in general feel better. The inflammation in your body will go away. Your body will take away that response as you start to heal your gut. So again, Biomedic, give it a try. Try it for at least 60 days. And in fact, one of my clients, he didn't want to change anything in his lifestyle. He's like, I love eating what I want to eat. I've gained weight over the last 10 years. I have no desire to change my lifestyle. What can you do for me, Carrie? And I went, okay, well, tell me a little bit more. And after about an hour of talking to him, he had some discomfort in his gut. He had gas and discomfort after eating large meals. I thought, you know what, I bet you we can start with some Biomedic. Just take 1 in the morning, 1 at night to start with, give it a try, and move up to 2 in the morning, 2 at night, and then for 60 days, tell me how you feel. He's taken it for 30 days, and he came up to me and goes, Carrie, guess what? I just lost 10 pounds. I lost 10 pounds in 30 days, and I changed nothing. Now, he's a relatively healthy guy, but he's busy. He's works crazy hours, and he has a young son. Yet, he was still able to see the benefit with really changing nothing at all. So I do invite you to give it a try, see how you feel, and give the gift of health to your family members and your animals and your children. Allow them to experience life the way we're supposed to experience life, and not feel sick all the time. So again, Biomedic, give it a try.